Here is a very simple ritual that you can do with Lilith, preferably, to clear anything that is blocking you from moving on from your ex. If you do this ritual and you really, really stick to your guns with this, you will see your life and your energy transform in as little as immediately or cumulatively within like 30 to 90 days time. But you definitely must be ready for this. For this, you need one person who pissed you off to no end, possibly an ex, most likely an ex. You need to be heartbroken, or you need to be holding on to the weight of something that you're ready to let go of. Lilith is perfect for this because Lilith is not only an entity of love, power, and seduction, but creativity, prosperity, abundance, and charisma. Lilith is magnetizing, business savvy, creative, and productive. She's known for being feisty and fiery, and on another day, we can talk about how she actually might be an egregore. Yes, she's known as being a goddess, I believe Sumerian, but she's also possibly an egregore. But we'll get into that later. Lilith is great for working with anyone who's heartbroken or anyone whose heart has been broken by a situation that is keeping them stuck where they are when they want to move on. So for this, you need a sigil of Lilith. If you cannot print one from the internet, that is fine. If you cannot photocopy it from a book, that is fine. You can actually go on the internet, draw one by hand yourself, and Lilith will actually appreciate the personal effort that you put into intentionally crafting a message for her. Even if the sigil's not perfect, you're not expected to be perfect. You're expected to be genuine, focused, and ready to heal and transform. You also need at least one candle. Now, for this ritual, it might be a love spell, so you might do red. You could do red or black. You can also do pink if you don't have red. And if you don't have either of those colors, but you happen to have white, white is fine as it's a universal color. You also would like to have an anointing oil, something that opens roads and clears obstacles. My website, well, my Etsy store, I sell something called Queen Pristine. It increases connectivity to ancestors and spirit guides, as well as banishes obstacles and clears negativity from any form of spiritual warfare. It can be used with any spirit. Um, I use it with Psalms as well as on different candles. So there's that. But it's any multi-purpose oil that'll cleanse. Otherwise, I believe Ariel Gatoga said that you can anoint your own bottle of oil with simple olive oil and let that be that. That's fine. If you want to sprinkle herbs that clear, sprinkle herbs that transform, sprinkle herbs that banish negative attachments and soul ties. So you might sprinkle black walnut on your candle. That's good for clearing and killing soul ties and emotions. You might sprinkle hyssop is good for cleansing as well as bringing in and drawing pure energetic love and spiritual purity. You might want to consider something like butterfly pea, which is transformative and intuitive. You might want to consider rock rose, which helps you release deep grief and deep wounds around the situation. So set up your ritual, perhaps light some incense. It's a great offering for spirits as well as produces a great atmosphere. You can play Lilith's End in the background if you have the ability to do so. You can also chant it, set up your protection if you desire, and then go ahead and invoke her presence and invite her to provide support to you as you hold space to release the energy that you have against the person you're about to release it against. Now, this is going to be important. You're going to need a photo of them. If you do not have a photo of them, write their name on a piece of paper or their birthday, or if you have a photo in your phone, look at it. But print out a photo of them. You really need to look them in the face, and because you're about to say something that you need to say so that it can be gone. Um, if you choose to, you can share a little bit about why this person's energy needs to be clear and why they are no longer valid to have the energy they hold in your life. And you can also listen intuitively for any messages. But when you're ready for the deeper aspect of this ritual, which is as soon as you finish all of that, you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And for 5 minutes, while looking at this person's photo, you're going to say, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. This is Ho'oponopono. This is a healing practice that was designed by a doctor whose name I can't pronounce at the moment because I don't know it. And essentially, he realized that the energy people have towards us, the energy we experience, it comes from the energy we're holding on from within. And in his experiment in proving this, I believe he worked for a mental facility where people were like exceedingly mentally ill. I believe some were criminally dangerous, or they were inmates or something like that, like really dangerous inmates. And he never met the inmates, but he did this practice over their files every single day. And miraculously, people changed. They transformed without meeting him. They just miraculously turned their energy and their lives around. So the importance of this is telling someone that you have strong, vehement, and emotional grief and anger and rage against, it's not going to be easy saying, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, because you might not be sorry. And I get that. But here's where you are, right here, stuck, because you're still energetically beholden to that situation. You're angry, they're living their life, they're not going to change, they're never going to be sorry. That's who they are. They're the scum of the earth. It is what it is. Why are you holding on to that? When you get to a certain point of growth and ascension as a magician, as a person, as an individual with character, ethics, and mystery moving through life, if that's what you want to be, you're going to realize that a lot of people are not your caliber. And it usually takes these really messed up situations to awaken you to the fact that these people were not on your level the way you thought they were. And you were not on their level the way you thought you were. And there's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, everybody will not fit into the same room. Everybody does not belong on the same floor. We don't even belong in the same building, block, neighborhood, city, zip code, state, or hemisphere. They might be in higher places in other places. You might be in lower places in other places. You might, vice versa. But the bottom line is it's an incompatibility issue. They are extremely incongruent to what you have going on. And honestly, when you do this, you get to go with a smile. You get to move on with a smile. This is not going to be for everybody. If you're still a highly unforgiving and petty person, that's cool. When you're at a point where you've done everything you could and have gone as far as you need to go before you do something like this, be my guest. Been there, done that, still deal with that. So it is what it is. Some people you forgive easily, some people you can't. But back to this, sorry for the rant, back to this situation. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You're going to say that for at least 5 minutes while looking at the picture. If you have emotional responses, it's okay. If you have mental responses, it's okay. If you start to cry, make a fist and keep going because it's okay. That's why you do this when nobody else is home, because nobody gets to see these stupid fucking tears that you're still fucking crying because you're tired of fucking crying about it. Except you and Lilith. That's why she's holding space. The reason all of this emotional energy and these other emotions are coming to the surface is because these are the actual things that are the debris in your energy, in your body, in your psyche, in your heart, in your spirit, in your chakras, in the back of your mind, making your inner child and your inner teen and your young adult mad. These are the things that are silently setting off alarms and notices in people's heads, telling them, let me give her space. I don't know if I can deal with her on this level. Like, she got a lot going on, and I don't know if it's for me. You have no idea how your energy comes off to other people except by the way they respond to you. And I promise that this helps that soft girl energy some of you ladies talk about. This also helps with that debonair, emotionally available energy that women crave in a man. I'm not for the gender discussion, so rearrange how you will, take what you need. No harm meant, but I'm just not on that. But the bottom line is that you've got to focus on your desires. You've got to focus on your heart, and you've got to focus on your need to clear this person out of your life. So let's break down the phrases, what they do, and why they're important. Thank you. I'm thanking you for the time we shared. I'm thanking you for the lessons I've learned. I'm thanking you for the new strain of weed you put me onto. I'm thanking you for helping me realize I have anxiety. I'm thanking you for being there when I needed you. I'm thanking you for all of the wonderful memories that I had that I'll have with nobody else. Be specific. I'm being real general because I don't have anything specific to share at the moment. I cleared it to the point where I barely remember stuff. But you're thanking and expressing gratitude for the positives that came out of this relationship. You cannot acknowledge the negative without acknowledging the positive. It may suck to give somebody credit for something when they really ultimately screwed you over and hurt you in a way that's forcing you to heal, but you still must give credit where credit is due. It's part of the fair energy exchange here that's going to go on to negotiate with the emotional terror that is being captive in your heart. So let it go. You must be thankful. You must be grateful. Gratitude is also an accelerator. I love you. I love you for washing my car on Saturdays. I love you for making me smile after my dad died. I love you for being there for me when I was homeless. I love you for showing me that maybe I'm not as weird and alone as I thought. I love you for, I don't know, like whatever you love that person for. That's why you're saying you love them. You acknowledge that the love is there. I love the time we shared together. I'm sorry. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you can say, I'm sorry and leave it at that. You can say, I'm sorry for and things you know that you might have done, whether you stand in it or not. Just, you're sorry for it. Nobody knows you're sorry but you, Lilith, the Most High, and the energy in the room. And you can also say, I'm sorry for letting you in my life. I'm sorry you showed up in the first place. I'm sorry that I stepped on my own heart and boundaries to make you happy. I'm sorry that you're such a piece of shit. I'm sorry that your mama's bald-headed. I'm sorry that your daddy never knew you. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry. You know, like, I don't, this, again, this ain't personal. It's just easier to make this little crap talk up because I'm not there no more. But please believe this in no way reflects anybody in real life. I'm just giving you an example. This is where you get to pour your energy at in this exercise. I'm sorry for anything I did that might have hurt you in any way. I'm sorry for anything known or unknown that I've done that might have stepped on your toes. You do want to acknowledge that if you can, because guess what? That's also part of this release. You don't know what you did to turn this person off, and hell, you might have done nothing. That might be the truth. You'll never know. You'll never know. But guess what? It does not matter. Just say that you're sorry, because all of that, it falls into the pile of energy that's going to be transformed also. But also, if you can't find it in your heart to say I'm sorry, go with the I'm sorry you are, and then just spew all that negativity you feel about the person out. I'm sorry for giving you a chance in the first place. Now, please forgive me. Please forgive me for anything I may have done, known or unknown, uh, deliberate and justified or not, that harmed you or took from you in any way. You're asking for forgiveness in the event that maybe there's something you did do. Maybe there's something that you do owe an apology for, but you're ready to move on. Conversely, you can also say, please forgive me for letting you have my phone number. Please forgive me for letting me take you out on a date. Please forgive me for not realizing that we weren't compatible. Please forgive me for dragging this out too long. And you can low-key say that to yourself as well while you're saying it to the fire. Like, either way, the point is thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And you can say those in any order, because I'm sure that that was not the order I said them in like 5 minutes ago when I first got into this. So after chanting, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And letting those emotions out, you might still be crying, you might feel fine. You can keep going if you want to, but 5 minutes, I promise, is pretty good. Now get a pen and paper. This is like extra credit, but this is kind of like somewhat mandatory extra credit if you really, really want this to like go in. Get pen and paper. And again, I'm sorry I didn't say this in the beginning. And write out, thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me. The whole Pono phrases. You're also going to write out, I love you for this. Thank you for that. I'm sorry for that. Please forgive me for this. Everything you said verbally, put it again on paper. And also, my bad, you can also just say, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and not say all of that until after, or save all of that for the paper. But the paper is really where you really write it out. There's something about physically writing these things out that pours from the bottom of your soul and really clears the energy. Because at this point, you done lit the candle, you done anointed the oil, you done chanted for Lilith, you done drew up protection, you done brought in all of this energy, and now you starting to feel the expense of that energy as it continues to pour out onto the paper, which is physically releasing all of that from inside your heart, your mind, your soul, and your body. All of that gunk that is blocking your energy and making you less receptive to what you want, it's flowing through your fingers and through the pen onto the paper, because now it's about to be recycled. Once you've written as much as you can stand to write, like when you just don't feel like writing anymore, and I don't mean on some like you just tired, you really feel spent. You can choose to speak over the paper and say, I declare and decree, fuck this person, now I'm free. No, I'm playing, like I'm playing. But you can basically look over it if you need to, and then destroy it. Give it to the fire. Give it to Lilith. Burn it over the fire of if your candle's still burning. Otherwise, burn it in your cauldron. But destroy all of that energy and transmute it. And as that energy is being destroyed and transmuted, because they say, oh, energy can't be destroyed. Well, that paper's being destroyed. All of that gunk I was feeling is being destroyed, broken down, and recycled. You're going to just be. And from there, what you'll notice is that your job is to rest and allow the next steps to occur. You can end the ritual, you can thank Lilith for her time, but you end that ritual or end the candle, blow the candle out, or before you blow the candle out, actually, I'm sorry, this is so all over the place because it's just coming off the top of my head. You can do more journaling and free writing before you blow the candle out. You can also ask Lilith to create space and send intuitive nudges on what to do next. If you have a passion project, a client, something new you want to get, or something you want to experience, Lilith can take that energy you just poured out from your ex and recycle it to give you the motivation, power, creativity, energy, motivation, willpower, and means. I mean, the financial resources, the time to get it done, and an affordable set of gifts to support it immediately. Lilith does not play when it comes to helping you get over somebody. She just requires you to go all in. This ritual is excellent for anyone who, again, you have someone who's in your energy, and no matter what you do, you can't get them out your energy, but you're ready to move on. And even if you're not ready to move on, you know you need to move on. So you're willing to do what it takes so that you can move on. If you enjoyed this, I'm glad. I'm sorry it was so long. However, I think I said everything that I needed to say. And oh yeah, aftercare. Sorry about that. After you finish the ritual, clean up. Like I said, all of that paperwork that had your ex, their photo, and the stuff you wrote, burn all of that. Burn all of that. Let that energy be transformed. Know that it's being transformed and returned to you purified, cleaned, and ready for use for your own personal creative endeavors and other things going on. And also give yourself a spiritual bath if possible. If you don't have any special salts, Epsom salts will do. Otherwise, you can give yourself a black walnut bath, which is another banishing bath. Add rock rose or something like Life Everlasting to enhance the bath. Possibly add a few crystals if that's your thing. It's not mine, but you can add it if that's your thing. And really give yourself a lot of aftercare because you basically did some deep emotional healing and release. And depending on how close you are to the situation still, this might really wound you and you might really feel like you're heartbroken all over again. That's fine. Um, I recommend building up your heart chakra if this is a little too much for you or you feel you can't do all of this. Um, Also build up your grounding and your self-concept. What you want to do is get to a point where you know that even though you care about this person or you cared about this person and you should have probably never met to begin with. You want to start to restore yourself a little first if this feels like it's too much, because when you restore yourself first, you'll realize that the situation did not serve you and that you are probably worth way more. And if you want to argue with me that this person was actually good, then I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you because I'm assuming that this is a person who clearly showed you both sides of their cheeks before they bent over and passed gas in your face, and therefore they're not worth the paper you're going to argue with me over. So don't do this if you feel like, oh, that person was good, but I'm the one who messed up. I mean, you can if you want to, but You should be in a place where you know that you are worth more than the person you were dealing with and the stuff that they brought to you, and that you deserve better, that you didn't need to be treated like that, and that, you know what, it's not on me to be the bigger person, but I want to get my energy going. I want to move on in life. I want to be happy. I want to be happier than I've ever been on the strength of moving on as if I've never met you in the first place. That's who this is for. If you want to hold on to grudges, if you want to go back and forth with this person, if you want to clear the bonds to go fall back in love with a trauma bond, be my guest. But for everybody else, please enjoy and let me know what you think. Goodbye.